Hey, Tony Guys is here. Hey, I want to talk about the differences between a grown boy and a grown man. And I am a grown man and I was a grown boy, so I made that shift, I made that transition. And what I want you to understand, you might be a grown boy if you are still sleeping with multiple women. And the reason why I say this is because you are not taking into consideration the spiritual ties, those emotional connections, and what you are taking your body through, as well as the heart and mind, the body of a woman through. And so, as you are operating as a grown boy, you don't address your insecurities. You're not thinking about those things that you were ashamed of growing up. If you were picked on, if you were bullied, if you were too tall, too short, too light, too dark, too pretty, too ugly, too big, too little. We go through things growing up that makes us feel unsure of ourselves and insecure. And when we become an adult man or even a teenager, we start to act out when we have different availability. When we have more women available to us, we start to act out from that place. And we're trying to make ourselves feel better like, hey, I've arrived. Hey, I'm somebody. Whether that's with money or whether now you've grown into yourself and you're trying to make up for those years that you felt less than or you felt like nothing. So really understand that. As a grown boy, you also are jealous, meaning you tie in jealousy and control, deceit, and manipulation. You can't be trusted because you can't trust yourself. And so, because you can't trust yourself, you can't be trusted with someone else's trust, nor can you trust that person. And when you don't trust yourself, then that won't allow you to fall in love with a woman because you feel that she is just as flawed as you are. And in fact, if you're with her, it could be the case. She may be. Um, in some cases, she may be operating from a different place in her life and being a better human being than you, but you won't give her the benefit of the doubt. The other thing is when you're a grown boy, you focus too much on outward opinions of you. So you're too worried about people saying that you're a square or that you're lame or you're corny or cornball or whatever it may be. And so that determines how you dress, how many tattoos you get, how many women you have, how much jewelry you wear, and all of these things. You focus too much on the opinions of others instead of really connecting with who you are as a person and who you want to be, regardless of what others think. That may mean a lot of tattoos, it may mean a lot of jewelry, it may mean fancy cars, but if that is truly who you are and what you want and you're doing it for you, then it's cool. But if you're doing things because you want to appear a certain way or be something so that you receive a certain label by others, then you're operating from the wrong place. You're doing it for the wrong reasons. And that is a part of being a grown boy. Another thing that I realized as a grown boy is you're afraid of commitment. You're afraid to settle down with one woman and to really sacrifice in that area because you want the fruit of the world, the lust of your spirit. You want to have everything your money can buy or your name can buy or your access can buy or your talk game, whatever it may be, your status in the streets, in the world, in the community, and you want to benefit from that. And by using the bodies of multiple women and not giving one woman all of you, it makes you feel like you have accomplished something, like you are successful, like you are somebody. And it really comes from deep down on the inside, having never been affirmed, to know that you are already somebody. And so I want you to think about this. Now, when you make that shift to being a grown man, one thing about this means you accept full responsibility for your life. So you're no longer blaming other men, blaming society, blaming other races, blaming your mother, your father, your ex-wife, your ex-girlfriend. You place no blame anywhere. Instead, you tell yourself, I am responsible for my life. I am responsible for the decisions that I make, and those decisions will determine the results that I get. So you accept full responsibility for your life and you stop operating from a place of hurt, hate, anger, bitterness, frustration. If you notice, when you see a lot of men, you see a lot of men who are operating from anger and bitterness and frustration, and they are lashing out at other races. They're lashing out at the opposite gender. They're lashing out at authority figures, police, or the government. You know, they're lashing out at someone because they have not addressed and dealt with their internal pain and the things that they have suffered through. And so they're looking to place that anger, and they're misplacing it instead of really working on themselves, healing, doing the work to heal and then to grow. When you become a grown man, you start to consider the thoughts and the heart and the feelings of other human beings. So you don't operate from a place of deceit or manipulation. You may actually play the fool, meaning pretend that you don't know what's going on, but really completely understand everything. But that is because you are in a position of true power, which comes from true confidence, which is rooted in humility. See, arrogance is not rooted in confidence. Arrogance is rooted in weakness. It's rooted in insecurity. So when you become a grown man, you don't feel the need to take advantage of anyone in business. You may actually give them the upper hand because you know what you bring to the table and you know ultimately what you're worth. You don't feel the need to lie to a woman, control a woman, deceive a woman, manipulate a woman, or use a woman because you have respect for the human creation and you understand that she has a heart and that she has a life and that she has a purpose and that she is valuable in the sight of God and that you are responsible and her blood is on your hands if you take advantage of her, you misuse her, you mistreat her. So in this grown manhood, you are a leader by choice because you govern your own actions, your thoughts, and your decisions so that now everything is on you and you're not holding anyone else accountable for your life. And you are treating people not just how you want to be treated. You may treat people better than you want to be treated. You're able to admit your wrongs. You're able to apologize. You're able to be the bigger person. You're able to agree to disagree, know when to say yes, know when to say no. And you are okay carrying out your purpose. You're okay walking alone if you have to. You're okay losing some fake friends because you have to take a different path that is not often traveled. And so I made this shift, I made this transition, and I saw what it felt like. I saw the difference. And what I realized on the other side is there's a lot of peace. There's a lot of clarity. There's a lot of focus. You're okay being alone, you know, and when you have to be alone, you're okay doing your own thing. You're okay standing in your strength and your confidence. You're okay saying no. You're okay saying yes. You know, you are okay. And you don't need an advantage. You don't need to be slick, to be sly, to cheat the code. You don't need to do any of that because you know who you are. You know what you're worth, and you're unwilling to compromise your morals and your values. And you know that what is for you, and no one else can stop it, block it, or take it. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins, and I could talk on this for an hour, so I'll touch on it a little later.